Stop. Do not scroll past this message. Look at me right now. You did not arrive here by accident. Heaven aligned time itself to bring your eyes to these words. This is not an ordinary moment in your day because a divine ambush is taking place, and every single angel in heaven is holding their breath right now while I try one last time to talk to your soul. Listen to the sound of my voice. The noise of the world has been deafening lately. You are drowning in distractions, but I have broken through the digital chaos to reach you. This is an urgent warning for your life. I am stepping into your atmosphere before the clock strikes a definitive hour because a massive door in the unseen spiritual realm is preparing to close forever. You cannot afford to ignore this. If you turn away now, you allow the darkness to win. The adversary wanted you to skip this video. He is terrified of what I am about to speak into your future. I have watched you slide into a dangerous rhythm of spiritual slumber while you convince yourself that you have plenty of time left to fix your broken foundation. I know who you are. You are my chosen child. You are a warrior who has grown weary from fighting invisible battles. You carry the weight of the world with a smile, but inside your spirit, a heavy silence has been growing for months. You pretend you are strong for everyone around you because they depend on your stability. Nobody knows the truth about you. They see your external success. They see your helpful hands. But I see your hidden wounds. I am your creator, and I have witnessed a deep secret you keep hidden from your closest friends. I watched you sit in the dark when the laughter faded and the heavy reality of your life pressed against your mind. I am knocking on the door of your heart one last time. This is not a threat. It is a holy rescue mission. I love you too much to let you wander into the trap that has been set for your footsteps. The enemy has designed a subtle web of confusion to keep you running in circles until you completely forget the glorious destiny I wrote for your name. Wake up from the fog. Lift your eyes to my face. I need your absolute attention for the next few minutes. Do not let your thoughts drift away. This message is highly specific to your current situation, because I am about to expose the exact strategy that has been draining your spiritual power. Time is moving quickly now. The spiritual seasons are changing. You can feel the shift in your bones. You have noticed a strange restlessness in your chest. I have permitted this agitation to grow inside you because comfort was slowly killing your faith. You were settling for a mediocre existence while I was preparing an inheritance of unmatched glory. You cannot stay where you are. Stagnation is a silent killer of dreams. I did not design you to merely survive. You are a holy vessel. You were created for a majestic purpose. And today, I am interrupting your routine to demand a decision, because your reluctance to step forward has left you vulnerable to the arrows of resentment. Think about how you found this message. You were looking for something else. Your fingers were mindlessly scrolling through a sea of empty words. But my hand guided your spirit to this exact digital intersection. This is the sovereignty of heaven manipulating human technology to stage a private conversation with a child who was on the verge of giving up completely. You have been stubborn lately. You have tried to solve your problems with your own limited wisdom. You have built temporary walls to protect your broken heart. But those walls are keeping my blessings out. You are exhausting yourself by trying to engineer a breakthrough that only my hands can deliver. I have watched you make excuses for too long. You keep saying tomorrow will be different. You promise yourself that you will pray more when the storm passes. But the storm is not passing because you are trying to outrun a divine correction. I am forcing this confrontation right now because your tomorrow is about to be stolen by the enemy if you do not surrender your weapons today. You are standing at a critical crossroads. One path leads back to your familiar misery. The other path requires you to step into the terrifying unknown of my promise. You have been hovering in the middle for far too long, and this neutral ground you are trying to occupy is actually a breeding ground for the spiritual decay that is destroying your confidence. Think of the opportunities you have already wasted. Remember the quiet promptings you ignored last week. I spoke to you in the silence of your car, but you quickly turned up the radio to drown out my conviction. I am tired of competing with the shallow voices of this world for the attention of a child whose soul belongs entirely to my heavenly kingdom. Hear the gravity of my words. Crying out to me in the future will not work if you reject my presence today. Grace has a threshold. Opportunity has an expiration date. I am standing before you right now with an open hand, but I will not force you to walk through the narrow gate of your deliverance. The adversary is watching this encounter. He is trembling with rage. He knows his time is short. He has spent years building a stronghold of fear around your thoughts, and he is desperately hoping that you will get distracted by a notification or an intrusive thought before I can deliver the keys to your total freedom. He wants you to believe that this message is generic. He whispers that you are just another face in the crowd, but I am calling out the specific details of your life to prove my sovereign presence. Every detail of your current crisis has been mapped out on the tables of heaven, and I am refusing to let you fall victim to the traps of a defeated adversary. Look at me. Do not look away from these words. Breathe deeply. Let the urgency of this moment settle into your soul. I am demanding your complete silence right now, because the truths I am about to unseal are too sacred to be heard over the rumbling chatter of your anxious mind. I am about to reveal the hidden mechanics of your current trial. I will tell you exactly why certain relationships collapsed. I will explain the reason behind the painful delays. But first, you must acknowledge that you cannot continue living this way because the constant pressure is beginning to manifest as a literal sickness in your physical body. Your physical body cannot sustain this level of stress much longer. The headaches you experience are a physical warning sign. The sleepless nights are a cry for divine intervention. You are running on empty tanks, and you are foolishly trying to fuel your destiny with the toxic approval of people who will never understand your sacred calling. You think nobody sees your trembling hands. You hide your exhaustion behind a busy schedule. You tell everyone that you are doing fine, but I have counted every single tear that fell onto your pillow during those long nights of solitary warfare. I know the precise weight of the burdens you carry in secret, and I am here to dismantle the heavy machinery of your suffering. Give me your mind for the rest of this message. Turn off the background noise. This is your holy appointment. You have prayed for a sign. This is your answer. And if you walk away from this altar of truth right now, you will spend the next season wondering why the darkness feels heavier than it ever has before. The atmosphere is changing right now. The commanding thunder of my voice is starting to soften into a gentle whisper. I have stopped your feet from running. I have captured your wandering eyes. And now that I have your undivided attention, I want to speak directly to the broken fragments of your weary heart. Do you feel that sudden warmth in your chest? Do you notice the slight trembling in your hands? That is my Holy Spirit beginning to hover over your chaos. Do not leave this sanctuary, because in the next moment, I am going to peel back the layers of your silent trauma and reveal the beautiful restoration that awaits you. Come closer now. Let me speak softly to the part of you that is most tired. I know you have spent years building a fortress around your heart. You believe that if you show one crack in your armor, the whole world will fall apart. But I see the exhaustion behind your eyes. You are a silent survivor who has forgotten how it feels to be truly safe. I am here to tell you that you can put the heavy sword down. You have been the pillar for everyone else for so long. They come to you with their problems and they lean on your strength. And you always find the right words to say to make them feel better. But when the house is quiet and everyone else is asleep, you are left alone with the shadows. You feel a hollow ache in your chest that nobody else can understand. You are tired of being the strong one who never has a place to fall. I saw you yesterday in the bathroom. You turned on the water so nobody would hear the sound of your spirit breaking. You pressed your face into a soft towel to stifle the cries that have been trapped inside you. I was right there in the small space with you. I counted every single tear as it soaked into the fabric. You are not invisible to me, even when you try to hide from your own reflection. I know the names of the people who have drained your spirit. You gave them your sincere heart, and they only saw a resource to be used. They took your kindness without ever asking if you had enough left for yourself. You have been hurt by the very hands you once tried to heal. And the stinging pain of that betrayal is a heavy chain that you drag behind you every single day of your life. There is a particular heaviness in your chest right now. It sits just behind your sternum, and it never quite lifts. No matter how much you sleep, The exhaustion remains in your bones. That is not just stress from a busy schedule. It is the accumulated weight of 1,000 silent battles that you were never meant to fight alone. Your soul is screaming for a rest that this world cannot provide. This pattern did not start today. You learned to be independent when you were still a child. You decided very early that it was safer to rely on yourself than to trust the hands of others. You became the protector because nobody was protecting you. I saw the little version of you who had to grow up far too fast. I am here to reclaim that child from the cold fortress of self-reliance. You say you are fine. You tell your friends that you just need a little bit more coffee. You make jokes to divert the attention from your heavy spirit. But the mask is starting to crumble under the weight of the truth. You are not fine, and you are reaching the end of your endurance. I am stepping in today because I will not allow you to shatter into 1,000 pieces while you are trying to be perfect. Midnight is the hardest hour for a warrior like you. The world stops moving and the distractions disappear. The silence becomes a mirror that shows you every regret you have tried to bury. You replay every mistake and every harsh word that was spoken against you. I am the one who sits on the edge of your bed during those hours. I listen to the racing thoughts that keep you from the peace you deserve. You carry a secret shame that tells you that you are not enough. It whispers that if people knew the real you, they would walk away. You think your worth is tied to your performance and your ability to serve. But my child, you are precious because you are mine. A jewel covered in dust is still a jewel. I am not looking at your productivity, but I am looking at the purity of your broken heart. Your shoulders are always tight, and your jaw is constantly clenched. You have forgotten how to breathe deeply. You take shallow breaths because you are always waiting for the next attack. This constant state of vigilance is destroying your peace. I want to teach you how to exhale the fear. Let the oxygen of my love reach the deepest parts of your lungs for the first time in many years. You are the one in your family who has to break the mold. You are carrying the trauma of generations that came before you. They did not have the tools to heal, so they passed the pain down to you. You feel the weight of their failures sitting on your heart. It is a heavy burden to be the one who says the cycle ends here. But I chose you for this work because your spirit is made of a different substance. You are a misunderstood giver who loves with a fierce intensity. You notice the needs of others before they even speak them. You are the one who stays late and arrives early. But when you are the one in need, nobody seems to notice. You have built such a convincing facade of strength that people assume you are invincible. They have no idea that you are hanging on by a single thread of hope. I see the way you look at your bank account and your future plans. You feel a cold knot of anxiety when you think about the years ahead. You wonder if you will ever reach the place of stability that you have dreamed of. You have worked so hard, and yet you feel like you are standing in the same place. This feeling of stagnation is a lie from the enemy to make you doubt my provision for your life. You are surrounded by people, but you feel completely alone. You have a lot of acquaintances, but very few real friends who can carry your heart. You feel like a stranger in your own life. This isolation is a tactic to make you believe that nobody cares. But I am the friend who sticks closer than a brother. I am the one who understands the language of your silent groans when words fail you. You have asked me why the answers are taking so long. You have begged for a breakthrough, and you have received only more silence. You feel like your prayers are hitting a brass ceiling. But I am validating your frustration right now. It is okay to be angry at the delay. It is okay to ask why. I am not offended by your honesty, because I am the one who created your complex emotions. There is a lump in your throat that you cannot swallow. It feels like a physical barrier to your voice. You want to scream, but you have learned to be quiet. You want to cry out, but you have learned to be composed. I am asking you to let the wall fall. I am giving you permission to be weak in my presence. Your weakness is the very invitation I need to show you the full extent of my power. Being chosen is not an easy path. It means you are targeted by the enemy in a way that others are not. You are attacked with confusion because your clarity is dangerous to the darkness. You are attacked with exhaustion because your energy is a threat to the status quo. You have been fighting a spiritual warfare that is far beyond your natural ability, and I am here to tell you that the battle is mine to win. Lately, your mind has felt like it is trapped in a thick fog. You cannot focus on your tasks, and your memory is starting to slip. You feel a constant sense of dread that you cannot name. This fog is a spiritual weapon used to make you give up on your destiny. It is trying to hide the horizon so you will stop walking. I am breathing my holy fire into your atmosphere right now to burn the confusion away. I know about the tears you shed in your car on the way home from work. I know about the way you grip the steering wheel until your knuckles turn white. You are trying to hold it together before you walk through your front door. You do not want your family to see your pain because you do not want to worry them. You are the protector who is bleeding internally while you try to heal the wounds of everyone else. This is why I am trying one last time to get through to you. Your soul is at a breaking point, and I cannot let you go any further in this direction. If you continue to ignore the exhaustion, you will suffer a collapse that will take years to recover from. I am stepping in as a loving father to stop you before the damage becomes permanent. I am validating your pain so that you will finally stop running from the truth. Stay right here with me. Do not let the noise of the world distract you from this healing moment. You are safe in my presence. You are seen in my eyes. You are loved beyond your ability to comprehend. I am not just a distant voice in the clouds. I am the one who is closer to you than your own breath. And I am about to show you tight how every single moment of your suffering was never a waste of time. You thought you were walking alone in that dark room. You believed the heavy silence was proof of my absence. But my child, I was there in every heartbeat. I stood beside you when the weight of yesterday sat on your chest. And while you were staring at the ceiling and wondering if anyone in this vast world cared about your existence, I was busy counting the hairs on your head and planning your restoration. I have walked every difficult mile with you. I know the exact texture of the sand under your feet. You are not a random fragment of creation. You are a work I have carefully formed. Even when you cannot feel your worth, that does not make it disappear. A jewel covered in dust is still a precious jewel. I have seen the way you have struggled to keep your head above the rising water. I know your heart is tired of the fighting. You have been a warrior for so long, but even the strongest soldiers need a place to rest. I saw when your hands began to tremble under the load. There was a mighty man in the ancient times who was just like you. He was a prophet who had just called down fire from heaven. He saw the greatest miracle of his generation, but immediately after the triumph he felt a crushing weight in his spirit. He ran away into the empty wilderness. He sat down under a lonely tree and he asked me to take his life. He told me that he had enough. He was not weak. He was simply empty because he had given everything he had to a world that did not know how to receive it. He felt like the last person on earth who was still trying to do what was right. He felt completely abandoned by the heavens he had served so faithfully. Do you recognize that feeling? Do you see yourself in his exhaustion? You have had your own victories. You have done the hard work. You have been the light for others. And yet here you are, sitting in the shadow of your own broom tree and wondering why you have no strength left to move. You feel like the journey has been too long and the rewards have been too few. You are ready to close your eyes and let the silence take over. But listen to me carefully. I did not rebuke that man for his desire to give up. I did not yell at him for his lack of faith. Instead, I did something much more tender. I sent an angel to bake him bread, and I gave him a jar of fresh water. I let him sleep in the cool shade because I knew his body was broken. I am doing the same for you right now. I am not demanding more work. I am offering you sustenance. Eat and drink of my peace. Let your soul find rest in my presence. You have gone far enough on your own empty strength. It is time to let my power carry the load. The journey before you is too great for a human heart to manage alone. That man slept and he ate, and he found the strength to walk for 40 days and 40 nights. He was heading toward the holy mountain, where I was waiting to speak to him in a new way. You are also on a journey to a mountain. This season of isolation is not a prison. It is a positioning for a divine encounter. You have crawled into a cave to hide from the wind and the noise. You are waiting for something to change. You expect me to move in a great earthquake or a raging fire. You look for me in the loud and the spectacular because you think your pain requires a massive display of power. But I was not in the wind, I was not in the earthquake, and I was not in the fire that scorched the mountainside. I waited for the silence to become absolute. Then I spoke in a gentle whisper that reached into the deepest parts of his spirit. I asked him a simple question. I asked what he was doing there in the cave. I wanted him to tell me the truth about his loneliness. I wanted him to release the pressure of his secret thoughts. I am asking you that same question today. What are you doing here in this cave of despair? Why have you allowed the enemy to convince you that you are alone? I am the God who sees you in the desert. I am the God who feeds you in the dark. I was with the prophet in the cave, and I am with you in your living room. The darkness has no power to hide you from my eyes, because the light and the dark are both the same to me. I am breathing on the cold embers of your hope. I am reigniting the flame that the world tried to extinguish. You are not a failure because you are tired. You are a human vessel that was designed to be filled by my spirit. Stop trying to fill the void with the empty praise of men. Stop trying to find your worth in the work of your hands. You are loved because you are mine, and that will never change as long as the stars remain in the sky. Your cave is about to become a cathedral. The place where you thought you would die is becoming the place where you will be reborn. I am stripping away the noise so that you can hear my whisper. This silence is not a punishment for your mistakes. It is a holy protection from the voices that want to lead you astray. I have brought you here to remind you of your name. I have brought you here to remind you of your power. You are a secret warrior who has been forged in the fire of suffering. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are medals of honor from battles you fought while no one was looking. I saw every time you stood back up when you wanted to stay down. I saw every time you chose kindness when you were met with cruelty. You have a character that has been refined like gold in a furnace, and the enemy is terrified of the person you are becoming. The prophet walked out of that cave with a new purpose. He found that he was not alone after all. He discovered that I had a whole army of faithful souls waiting to join him. You are also going to find your tribe. You are going to find the people who speak the language of your soul. But first you must let me heal the wounds that have kept you in hiding. You must let me wash the dust of the wilderness from your tired feet. Breathe deeply now. Let the oxygen of my presence fill your spirit. The heaviness is starting to lift from your shoulders. The racing thoughts are starting to slow down. You are not behind in your destiny. You are exactly where you need to be for the shift that is coming. The tears I witnessed are now the seeds of what I am about to harvest for you. Listen carefully because the atmosphere is starting to change right now. I am no longer whispering. I am starting to speak with the authority of the heavens. I am shifting the foundations of your life. I am moving the mountains that have blocked your path for years. You have heard my comfort, and now you must hear my command. The time for hiding is coming to an end. The time for your breakthrough has been authorized by the throne of God. Stand up and prepare your heart for the declaration of your freedom. I have seen your faithfulness in the small things. I have seen your integrity in the dark, and now I am going to reward you in the light. The season of the broom tree is over. The season of the cave is finished. You are about to step into a light that will blind your enemies and guide your friends. The voice that was once a whisper is now becoming a shout of victory over your life. Do not look back at the desert because your garden is waiting for you. Hear me with your entire spirit now. The time for weeping in the secret darkness is officially over. I need you to stand up straight. Look at the ruins of your past with a brand new perspective. And during those months when you felt completely abandoned, my hands were actually weaving a protective shield around your vulnerable soul. You asked me why the perfect opportunities suddenly vanished. You begged me to open doors. They were slammed shut in your face. You thought you were failing while everyone else was moving ahead. But today, I want to reveal the magnificent truth behind every single delay, because I was actually paralyzing your steps to avoid an enemy ambush. The enemy had laid a clever trap for your feet in those rooms. You saw a golden chance for success and fame, but I saw a toxic swamp. It would have swallowed your destiny whole. You were crying over a temporary loss, while I was celebrating your narrow escape from a catastrophe that would have destroyed your soul completely. Let us speak about the people who walked out of your life. You loved them with a pure heart. You expected them to stay. They left you when you needed them the most. You thought your love was not enough to keep them close, but the truth is that I orchestrated their sudden departure from your circle. They were not equipped to handle your future blessing. They would have stolen my glory. They were comfortable with your broken version. Your weakness made them feel powerful, and when I began to elevate your spiritual authority, their hidden resentment forced them to run away from the blazing heat of your rising light. I was simply pruning the dead branches from your life. It was a painful surgery for your emotions, but it was absolutely necessary for your survival. I had to clear the space around you. You cannot build a sacred temple of destiny on a foundation that is cluttered with the toxic junk and selfish demands of users. Now listen to my declaration over your current struggle. The intense warfare you have faced lately is proof of your value. The enemy does not waste his weapons. He ignores the ordinary soldiers. He launched a violent attack against your mind because he saw the majestic crown that I placed on your head before the foundation of the world. He wanted to destroy your confidence. He wanted to stop your destiny. He whispered that you were worthless and weak. He reminded you of your past mistakes. But his frantic lies only prove that he is terrified of the internal power that is about to explode from your yielding spirit because you are his greatest threat. You are authorized to tear down his ancient strongholds. You have been fighting a hidden war for many years. You thought you were breaking under the pressure, but you were actually being forged into a lethal weapon against darkness, because the breaking was merely the precise shaping of your spiritual armor. The hour of your total deliverance has finally arrived. I am standing in your room right now. I carry the sovereign authority of heaven. I am issuing a divine decree. The heavy spirit of heaviness that has paralyzed your family for generations ends today because I am tearing down every legal argument that the enemy held against you. I am breaking the invisible chains of lack and poverty right now. I am shattering the ancient walls of depression. Your ancestors lived in constant fear. They passed that dark inheritance down to your shoulders. But I chose you to be the glorious sickle breaker for your entire lineage, because your spirit contains the structural strength to handle the transition. The patterns of failure stop with your obedience. The limitations of your parents have no legal authority over you anymore. You are stepping out of the role of a helpless victim. You are walking into the sacred office of a royal priest, and you will execute my judgments over the spiritual forces that tried to rob your peace. I am declaring a total reversal of your circumstances. Every single tear you shed in the dark has been transformed. Your secret sorrow is now a seat of power. The people who mocked your delay will soon watch your elevation. I am forcing the doors that were locked against you to fly open by the command of my holy voice. You will not have to beg for opportunities anymore. The blessings will hunt you down in the streets. You will walk into rooms that were once closed. The authorities of this world will recognize my favor, and you will speak with a burning boldness that completely silences the arrogant critics who predicted your downfall. Look at the new identity I am mapping over your soul. You are no longer the wounded survivor. You are a masterpiece of my own design. You are a holy vessel of light. And I have anointed your hands to bring healing and restoration to thousands of broken souls who are wandering aimlessly in the darkness of this generation. The enemy wants you to focus on your current limitations. He points at your empty pockets. He mocks your tired body. He tells you that nothing has changed, despite your prayers. But I am telling you that a massive shift has already occurred because the resources of heaven have been unlocked for your immediate rescue. Do not measure your future by your past experiences. The season of struggle was a training ground. You learned how to trust my voice in the dark. You learned how to praise me through the pain, and that rugged endurance has qualified you to inherit the wealth and the spiritual authority of my heavenly kingdom. I am stripping the authority of every childhood lie. You are not a failure because your plans collapsed. You are not rejected because humans did not value your presence. You are sought after by the King of Kings. Your worth was settled on a rugged cross, long before you even drew your first breath on this earth. I am restoring the years that the locusts have eaten. I am returning the joy that was stolen by grief. I am replacing the heavy spirit with a garment of praise. You are about to experience a supernatural expansion that will terrify the narrow-minded people who tried to keep you trapped inside their small boxes. The delay is officially over. Hear the thunderous sound of my voice as it cracks open the sky. I am not waiting for conditions to become perfect. I am creating a miracle in the middle of your mess, and I will show the entire world that I am your covenant protector who never breaks a holy promise. I am changing the very foundation of your life today. I am tearing down the shaky structures of fear. I am pouring the solid concrete of my word into your spirit. You will stand firm against the fiercest hurricanes of life, because your anchor is hooked directly into the deep rock of my eternal faithfulness. The waiting season has successfully finished its work. The roots of your faith have gone deep. You are now unshakable and unstoppable. The enemy has lost his legal grip on your mind, and he is running away from your presence in 7 different directions because he can no longer tolerate the fire of my glory inside you. Stand in your royal authority from this second forward. Speak to the mountains in your life. Watch them tumble into the deep sea. The words that pass through your lips carry weight. Do not shrink back into the shadows of your former insecurity, because you are the chosen champion of the Most High God who rules eternity. Let the realization of this truth wash over your thoughts. You are free from the opinions of men. You are free from the terror of failure. You are completely surrounded by an army of angels. Lift your eyes right now and receive the full download of this prophetic breakthrough, because the next step of your destiny requires absolute courage. Stop running and receive my final gift of rest. I want you to lower your heavy shoulders right now. Relax your tight jaw. You have carried this massive weight for far too long. Breathe in my holy atmosphere. Let the cold anxiety slide off your back, because you are finally safe in the quiet sanctuary of my presence. The warfare has ended. Let go of the desperate need to control every single outcome in your life. You have spent too many sleepless nights trying to figure out things that only my hands can solve. You analyze the painful past. You worry about the hidden future. But I am asking you to drop that heavy luggage at my feet today, because I am already working ahead of your steps. Trust my perfect timing completely. Your human mind always wants to race forward. It tries to anticipate the next painful crisis. But my gentle voice brings an immediate calm to the loud storm. Be still. Know that I am your God. I am your supreme protector, and I will never allow your foot to slip on the dangerous rocks of bitter despair. Rest your weary soul in this quiet sanctuary of love. You do not have to achieve anything today to earn my deep affection. Your immense worth is already settled in my eyes. Let the quiet rhythm of my Holy Spirit restore your natural strength, because you have been running on empty tanks for a very long season without finding trust. I am releasing a magnificent blessing over your personal finances. The enemy has tried to steal your resources through unexpected bills and sudden losses. You have worried about basic survival. But I am declaring a season of supernatural restoration, because I am opening the windows of heaven to pour out an abundance you cannot contain. Every single penny that was stolen from your hands will be returned with interest. You will not have to borrow from others anymore. You will become a steady source of blessing for your entire community. I am organizing a massive breakthrough in your bank account, because I want to prove my covenant faithfulness to my chosen child. Trust my financial provision. Do not let fear dictate your daily generosity. I am breaking the ancient curse of lack that has haunted your family history for generations. You are stepping into a spacious land of financial freedom, where every genuine need is met instantly by my sovereign wealth, because the silver and gold belong entirely to me. I am healing your broken relationships right now. You are a pure-hearted giver who has been taken advantage of by selfish people. You gave your love freely. You received only bitter disappointment. But I am healing the deep wounds of that rejection, because I am permanently removing the users from your sacred space of destiny. I am bringing authentic connections into your life very soon. You will be surrounded by loyal people who celebrate your presence instead of tolerating your gifts. They will pour love back into your hands. Your family will experience a beautiful restoration of peace because I am breaking the spirit of constant conflict that divided your home. Let the stinging pain of past betrayals melt away completely. Do not close your heart forever because of the actions of a few broken individuals. I am placing a holy guard around your emotions. You will love again with supreme wisdom, and your relationships will become a safe refuge of joy instead of a constant source of exhausting warfare. I am infusing your career with divine wisdom today. You have felt stuck in a dead-end position. You have wondered if your unique talents are being wasted by careless managers. But I am opening a new door of professional influence that will completely shock the people who tried to overlook your skills during the past year of struggle. You will receive strategic ideas that come directly from my throne room. Your mind will become sharp and creative. The authorities in your field will seek your counsel. I am elevating your position not to feed your pride, but to expand my kingdom through your faithful stewardship, because you have proven your integrity in the small assignments. Walk into your workplace with absolute confidence. You do not have to play political games to get promoted. My favor is your ultimate resume. I am preparing a seat for you at important tables you never dreamed of entering, and your success will become a living testimony of my unmatched power to raise up the humble servants. This prophetic breakthrough is now permanently sealed over your life. Do not let the enemy steal this precious seed of truth when you walk away from this video. He will try to whisper doubt. He will point at your current limitations. But you must stand firm in the absolute certainty of my promise, because my word never returns empty. Secure this holy blessing by anchoring your agreement today. Like this video right now as a simple act of obedience. It is a digital marker of the exact moment your life shifted. Your interaction is a physical declaration that you fully accept the identity of a victorious cycle breaker who refuses to stay defeated in the dirt. Share this profound message with 3 souls who are secretly crying out for hope. Do not keep this light hidden under a basket. There are people in your circle who are fighting identical battles of exhaustion. You are my hands and my feet on this earth, and your simple act of sharing will trigger their immediate deliverance. Become a beacon of light for others. When you send this video to those 3 souls, you are fulfilling your sacred mission as a light bearer. You are expanding the tribe of weary warriors who are finally finding rest. Watch how I bless your life when you become a generous conduit of hope for my broken children across the world. Subscribe to this channel right now. Do not miss the daily guidance that I am preparing for your next steps. The journey ahead requires a constant connection to my voice. Turn on the notification bell so you can receive my prophetic instructions the exact second they are released into the world for your protection. This community is your safe haven. By subscribing, you are planting your roots in a fertile soil of faith. You will grow alongside other chosen ones, and you will never have to face the darkness alone again, because we are marching together into the glorious future that heaven has authorized for our victory. I am pouring a special oil of gladness over your head. The dry season has ended. The rainfall of my favor is washing away the dust of your past failures. You will find a deep joy in the simple moments of life. The constant anxiety that made your chest tight is disappearing because my presence has occupied the empty spaces. Look at how far we have traveled together. You thought you were walking alone when the night was darkest, but my footprints were overlapping yours. I carried you when your strength failed. I protected you when your vision was blurred by tears, and I am celebrating your arrival at this threshold of unmatched glory today. Receive my final blessing of absolute peace. Let it saturate your thoughts and calm your racing pulse. The storm has passed. The new season has begun. Go out into your day with your head held high, because the King of Kings has called you by his own authority, and he has given you the sacred name of beloved child. I am walking right beside you. I will never leave you or forsake your path. Every step you take from this moment forward is ordered by my sovereign wisdom. Rest in the beautiful certainty of my eternal love. The transition is complete. You are completely free from the chains of the past. Amen.